Rodon is very good. The Guardians are in a tricky spot. We might have a new Rookie of the Year ladder. The Soto saga has been really, really weird. But we're back talking baseball again, dude. It's Thursday. This is our first time that we've been on top of both shows in a couple weeks, just because, like, obviously you were out of town with the wedding. I had stuff going on, but we're back, ready to talk some baseball. As we as we usually do. Pat. Do you want to start with me? Because we just swept the Rangers.
Yeah, dude. You guys are on a little bit of a roll now. And Rodon shoved today, dude. I mean, that was vintage Rodon.
Yeah.
Just that slider, when that slider and changeup combination is working, like he made some batters look lost up there today. And I know the Rangers are struggling all year offensively, but like those were just non-competitive at-bats for a majority of the day.
Dude, Rodon's been really, really good. Ben Vargo texted me before the show because that we should have bet on, obviously, like Ben being our resident Rangers fan. I'll start off with this. The last three series, it feels like the Yankees are headed the right direction. Obviously, they took 2 out of 3 versus the Mariners. Then they went on and took 2 out of 3 against the Mets. And then they have a sweep against the Rangers. And honestly, what are 3 pretty competitive games? And then next series, we're at Colorado. So, there's a chance for this team to be feeling really, really good. If you want to go back a little bit further, again, they won the Padres series. They won the A's series. They won the Mariners series. They won the Mets series. And then they sweep the Rangers. So
five series wins in a row.
Yeah, they're at a tear right now. And also help is on the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a part of it. Like, help is on the way.
No, that's because I remember we were talking not too long ago, and I think at one point you guys had lost like 3 of 4 series, and I asked you if there was a little bit of panic, and now it's all of a sudden like, boom, it happens fast. Now you guys all of a sudden have won 5 series in a row, and really, like, aside from the A's, you're looking at, and again, even the A's aren't even that bad, but like you're looking at the Padres will be a playoff team. The Mets will be a playoff team. One of Seattle or Texas and potentially even Oakland is going to be a playoff team too. So it's like you're doing it against good competition. And to sweep that Rangers series, and I know the Rangers offense has been diabolical, like just completely
bad. They've been really bad.
But like took care of business against Evaldi and DeGrom.
Yeah, both vintage, the vintage version.
Yeah.
Both. Here we go. I'll say this. I don't know. I don't know if you have a pitcher, Pat, that you thoroughly enjoy watching. I love watching DeGrom.
Yeah,
I love DeGrom.
He's fun to watch, man. It's good to see him. The sport is at its best when DeGrom is healthy and pitching well. I think it's the best thing for the sport because we saw him those years in Queens where like there was not a pitcher close. Like he was better than prime Verlander, than prime Kershaw. Like that is the best. Like prime DeGrom is the best pitcher that me and you have seen.
Yeah, like. Well, and I'll always push back. I think DeGrom has the best. He's the best stuff of my lifetime.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that, dude.
Like that's how good he is. I mean, and obviously, like he was. I mean, the Mets always had like guys that were aces, that were workhorses, and he was better than all of them. Like he was better than Syndergaard. He was better than Harvey. He's better than Dickey. Like all those guys, kind of in that blip. And the wild thing about DeGrom is, you know how he came up?
How was it?
DeGrom was a shortstop.
I did not know that.
Bro, that is why the injuries happened. He never learned how to warm up properly, never had a pitcher's routine, none of that. He was just a gifted shortstop, which is why he had his breakthrough late. But, like, as good as everyone thinks Skeens is, DeGrom was better. Like, DeGrom is Pedro Martinez if Pedro Martinez was throwing 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because there were some moments in this Yankees game, the most recent one, where it was like the at-bat that he had against Judge. And that was I believe the only, like that inning in particular, it was high leverage, obviously like close game 1-0. Like you saw DeGrom several times in one at bat, reach back. And I think the 5th or 6th inning, and he kept pumping 99, Pat.
Yeah.
And not just like, I'm going to like, here we go. Cause Scoob will pump you 99, but he'll throw it down the middle. He'll pump you 101, but it'll be over the heart of the plate. Talking DeGrom got in a mode where he was dotting 99. And at the end of the at-bat, he did let one leak a little bit over. Judge got under a little bit, and they had like a little cool moment of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Like, DeGrom gave him one of these. And Judge gave him one of these, tip of the cap. And like that's the cool baseball stuff I love. But I do want to start at the beginning of this Rangers series just because I think like unpacking each game is how I guess how I maneuver, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
That game one was Patrick Corbin versus Will Warren.
And that's not a slouch, not the Washington Nationals version of Patrick Corbin. Like, this guy is having himself a pretty decent year. And for Warren, I mean, that's his best start as a Yankee so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, like, well, if you look at Warren's last 3 starts, and I told you he's been really, really good. Oh, Ben, give me a break. I'm not trying to drag this out. Oh, no. But I told you and I before the year we're really high on Will Warren.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously, like, we joked about, like, if we were GMs, like, trade me this piece, trade me that piece, like, trade me Naylor. You're like, I need Warren. It's like, you're not getting Warren. I love Warren. That's like Michael King and Clark Schmidt's baby. And he had a couple blow-up starts early, but recently he's been really, really effective. I mean, if you look kind of at his last game in particular, he went 5 2/3 with 10 Ks. He's figuring out that he's got real swing and miss stuff, and he can rely on that. When he throws the sweeper for strikes, he's nasty, dude.
I mean, you look at his last 3 starts now. You're talking 5 2/3 shutout ball against Texas with 10 Ks, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks against Seattle, 7 1/3, 1 earned run, 7 Ks against Oakland. I mean, the strikeouts are piling up real quick. I mean, even you can go, he took the loss against Tampa, but only 3 earned runs, 8 Ks in 4 2/3 innings. I think he's 4th now, right? 4th in the majors and strikeouts.
He was 4th yesterday at noon. Obviously, baseball gets played every day, so you don't know like who goes up and who goes down. But Will Warren being a young piece that is becoming a strike thrower. I mean, and also like the last start he had against the Rangers, it was 10 Ks, 1 walk.
Yeah.
For a young guy.
Dude, the last 3 starts, only 1 walk in each of his last 3 starts. That's big.
That's big. So his development, I think, is the biggest development you can walk away from the series with. I wonder when we'll start hearing like his name in the Rookie of the Year conversation, because he does have the rookie tag still.
Yep.
I love him. I think that, you look at this rotation as you get closer to the playoffs, once Heel gets back, like you're talking about like Fried, who to me should be the AL Cy Young leader.
Yep.
Rodon finally looks like he's worth the contract today. Now I still get worried about Rodon because I saw some of the I'm gonna start bleeding here, and they pulled him before he could.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They pulled him at the end of the inning. But
I was gonna say, but it was that 6th inning where he walked the batter. That could have been a strike 3 call. I think it was Wyatt Langford was up. And it's like, all right, damn, you walked the number 2 hitter. Now you got to run around. I think there was 1 out at the time, and he dug in. I was like, we're either gonna see him implode right now. And here I am, like, watching, like, I need the ERA bet. And no, he dialed it back. I'm like, fuck, he's locked in.
Well, today was the first day I hated his body language after that walk.
Yeah. Exactly.
He may have dug in, like, I guess optically in terms of the stuff, but I hated the body language after that walk. I'm like, oh fuck, here it comes, because I'm so used to Rodon. I thought
for sure it was coming, but
dude, because you could tell, bro, because the shoulders drop. He looks over at Boone. He looks back at Ascara. I'm like, oh, 2-run bomb incoming. We're gonna have to play hero ball again.
I thought it was happening, dude. I really did, but no. Shout out Rodon. He didn't let it phase him. I mean, you're right. The body language said otherwise, but man, his stuff was just nasty.
Yeah, no, his stuff was really nasty. So they take that one 5-2. Warren gets the win, and then the next game, 4-3 from one rookie to another rookie. Jason Dominguez, the late game bomb. Obviously, there were some late game heroics needed. I just want to point out Bellinger's hit streak is now up to 15 games.
Okay,
he's been absolutely incredible. Belly hits a bomb in this one to make it 2-1. Captain, my guy, Aaron Judge, my goat, hits a single RBI tie game, and then bottom of the ninth, Jason Dominguez hits an absolute nuke walk-off. You're now talking about the guys that needed to make contributions for this Yankee team for them to be a contender had to be the young guys. You knew Judge was going to have a really good regular season. You knew it.
Yeah.
You know it. But what we didn't know about is the group of baby bombers. I didn't know how good Volpe would be offensively. He's been good, not great. I wanted Wells to take the next step. He needed to be pretty decent. But Dominguez was the one. Dominguez and Bellinger, in the absence of Juan Soto, had to be really good. And him, I mean, this month, I believe, I mean, if you detail what he's done this month so far, I think he's like the first player ever. Now, it's a weird baseball stat. But since May 1st, Jason Dominguez has 3 homers in a game, homered from both sides of the plates in a game, hit a grand slam, and hit a walk-off homer. First to accomplish all of those in a single month.
That's crazy. And that's
And
just, you know what? I will eat my words, Dominguez. I talk shit, and I am eating a humble pie slice right now.
give young guys time. And at the same time, Christian
Mhm.
Campbell now has a negative WAR, and Jason Dominguez has a positive WAR.
Yeah. It's the fluctuations of the early part of a season. It's like, again, why and I say it, and I'll go both ways. Like, yeah, to when I said the same thing about, like, all right, we got to wait till May to really evaluate guys. It's like, well, shit, yeah, we should have waited till May to evaluate Christian Campbell, because now I'm like, fuck, I really wish I traded him, especially
When he
from a
was
fantasy
hot. Yeah,
baseball perspective. But
when he was high. And then here we go. The final game of this Rangers series. Obviously, we talked about Rodon being dialed in, but the Yankee offense, Jorbit Vivas, first career home run. You have a rookie winning you game 1. You have a rookie winning you game 2. You have a rookie winning you game 3.
that's big time. It's like in a series like that, especially when the offense is kind of stagnant and taking advantage of a team that's offense is in an even worse spot than you guys. Like, yeah, to have those 3 rookies kind of take control. I don't know.
It
It's
means a
just
lot. I'm just saying, like, I don't,
big.
and on the other side of it, it's also like it's pretty pressure free. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, like yesterday was a steal game, right? Like Yarby versus DeGrom, like you steal
Yeah,
that one.
you're not supposed to win that game for
No,
sure.
like once you win now, there's like very limited pressure. But I'm telling you, bro, I know we're in different parts. I mean, Yankees are 30-19. They have the most WAR in baseball right now, and Boston isn't great. So we're kind of
That division, man, you guys, like, if Boston or Toronto or Tampa, if neither of them get hot, and I'm not talking like a Minnesota Twins level of hot, but like you're talking about, like, you got to, like, either of those teams have to win like 8 of 10 or something. Otherwise, if not, there's a good chance the Yankees could run away with this division by the All-Star break.
Bro, we're 5.5 games up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and no one else, I mean, shit, no one else is above 500, right?
Yeah,
Group.
Boston's a game under 500. Toronto's 24-24. Tampa Bay's 23-26, which is why losing that series fucking hurt. And then Baltimore is horrendous, 16-32. Question: would you trade Quan and the Lauder for Gunnar Henderson?
As it stands now, yes.
Okay.
The only reason I say that is because I don't know if we're going to re-sign Quan. Now, if it was a guarantee that we were going to re-sign Quan, then absolutely I would not do that. I would hold on to Quan, but I don't know what the front office is going to do there. I thought they should have re-signed him this offseason. They didn't, and it makes me wonder if he's in their long-term plans.
I think he might be worth too much to you guys. He's betting on himself, and he's had quietly an absurd season offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys end up getting in sell mode, which we'll talk about a little bit later, he's the piece that can get you something back. Like, I don't know if you looked at any of his advanced numbers, but here are 4 players that he's significantly better than. And here's the thing: I did this exercise with my boy Tyler. If I would have told you that Quan would be better than this list of players before the year, you would have said what?
And what
Quan has been better than Juan Soto. Higher WAR, more stolen bases, higher batting average, higher on base percentage, higher slugging, and higher OPS. Okay, you're going to come back. Oh, well, Juan Soto's having a down year. Cool. He's having a better year than Vlad. He just signed a $500 million extension. He's got higher WAR, more stolen bases, higher batting average. He's slightly lower on base percentage, but he's got higher slugging. How about that? Better than Vladdy Jr. We'll go to the next one. Gunnar Henderson. He's got over double the WAR. He's got more hits, more RBIs, more stolen bases, higher batting average, higher on base percentage. The slugging is slightly lower, but the OPS is higher, and the OPS is over 20 points higher. You're thinking, okay, well, Gunnar Henderson hasn't played a ton of games. No, 41 games to 48. It should not be that big of a discrepancy. Steven Kwan versus Jarren Duran, excuse me. Steven Kwan, more WAR in less games, more hits, more home runs, higher batting average, higher on base percentage, higher slugging, higher OPS plus. You're talking about a guy who last year had 7 WAR. Steven Kwan is posting an absurd season right now. He is up above 400 and He's up at 440 slugging, and that was the big number that's going to help his OPS so much, because last year he was such a singles merchant, and when he tried to buy into more power, the average fell.
The average dipped. I mean, he was hitting what? He was hitting 400 in the first couple months, and then went through one of the worst stretches we've seen from him as a professional hitter. In like 2 months, he was batting under 200.
Yeah, like trying to hit for power. And he's figured out, okay, like, look, like I can hit for power without hitting for home runs, and he's just hitting a bunch of doubles.
To me, he is, and what made our offense so dynamic in like the mid 2010s, he's Michael Brantley. The same type of hitter. Now, optically, they're built differently.
Yeah.
But what made Brantley so good in that lineup was that he was going to consistently hit you for average. He had enough power, but not crazy power, but he was a doubles machine. I mean, he led the majors in doubles in 2015. He was a 40 plus double guy 3 times in his career, 37 doubles in 2012. Like Brantley in that order lengthened that lineup so much because he also walked more than he struck out. Same with Quan. They don't swing and miss. High average. Brantley, a career 298 hitter, career 355 on base, 439 slug. Like that. And Quan is even outperforming Brantley. That's where I don't care what it takes. You have to find a way to re-sign him, because what happened when Brantley left for Houston? What was that? 2019 was when he left for Houston. Our offense has kind of been shit since. 2018 was the last time our offense was really anything, to write home about. And that was at the peak of our powers with Lindor, Josie, Brantley, Edwin, Carlos. Like that was those teams. Like this, they need to do everything in their power to keep Quan in Cleveland for a long time.
Well, here's the issue. Every player I just referenced, that I just read off, Duran, Vladdy, Soto, and Henderson are all worth $27+ million a year. The Guardians won't do it. They won't. Here's the thing. They will not pay a player like that. And my boy Tyler had a good point on this. They will not pay a player like that unless he is going to be an MVP candidate. And I don't think Quan will ever be an MVP candidate.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to garner that much money strictly because the power isn't there compared to those other guys. Okay. Now, those guys are having down years, and Quan's having probably the best start to his
it's almost
season in his career.
It's almost like we'll name another player. We can compare them and Quan,
No, I know, but I'm saying the reason why I say you have to do it quickly, and that's why I wanted them to do it before the season.
You have to do it now, because the longer you wait, the better, the more money he's going to look like he's worth.
Exactly, because right now you can look at it and say, all right, well, shit, he was a 6 homer guy in 2022. 5 homer guy in 2023. He hit 14. He saw the massive jump last year, but the slug, it was only 400. It was 400 in 2022, which is actually pretty substantial. It was only 370 in 23, and it was 425 last year. It's currently at 439. So even at the peak of his power, the slug isn't crazy, but if he keeps with this trend, he's going to warrant a big contract. And not to mention, he's a 3-time Gold Glove Award winner.
Would you take him for heel straight up?
For who?
Him for heel straight up.
You joking?
No.
Luis Heel?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
You're joking.
No.
I'm not trading a position player who's one of the best in the sport at his position for a, at best, number 3 starter who plays
at best number 3. Go to hell.
I'm just saying, give me Bybee and Gavin.
Bybee and Gavin. Do you want me to tell you how awful Tanner Bybee is, or do you want to ask? You were going to ask a question actually about the comment that someone.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, we're not really still talking about the Yankees, but you guys are in Colorado this weekend. And David Cohen, it's Michael K on the broadcast today, and I was listening. Over under 8.5 home runs hit in the series for the Yankees.
Over.
You're taking the over.
Mm-hmm. What you mean?
So is it a 3-game set or a 4-game set?
3.
All right, so 3 homers a game?
Yeah, give me the over, bro. Dog, first of all, we just faced Uvalde and DeGrom. That ball's going to be looking as big as a beach ball. Second of all, in Colorado, bro, Cody Bellinger might hit 8 by himself.
So Michael K took the under, which I thought was crazy.
That's insane, dude. I hope that this is a series that we start seeing Aaron Judge swing a little harder.
I mean, well, see, I guess I kind of get both sides, but like, why would you? Because you're already in Colorado. You don't need to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing. And especially the ball's going to jump even more so than it does elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I just want to blast, bro. Hoppy hit 470 yesterday, and it's like, damn.
You just want to see Judge hit 500.
Yeah, I just want Judge to send one to outer space, dude.
I mean, if he barrels one in Colorado, swinging as hard as he can, he's absolutely setting who has Nomar Mazara still has the record, right, for the longest home run in the Statcast era. That was like 511.
Yeah, bro. I don't think Aaron Judge chases that. His swing has been so easy so far, bro.
Yeah, and again, you don't change it in Colorado. That ball's gonna jump as it is, dude.
Yeah. I wonder who. Here's the thing. This is the torpedo bats take the torpedo bats to Colorado, man. Let's see what
you guys might score 10 runs a game this weekend.
Yeah, dude. G said absolutely under. Get out of here, bro. I hope we catch Chase. Oh, we do. Clark Schmidt versus Chase Dolander.
Okay, that's a sneaky good matchup.
Yeah, I like Chase a lot, but I think Chase is really good. His ERA doesn't reflect that, but he's got stuff. His ERA is like
his stuff plays. It grades out really well for strikeout metrics. He's got good swing and miss stuff.
Yeah, he's on the 15-day IL though, but he has him as a probable pitcher, so I don't know what's going on there. You guys split with the Twins yesterday?
Yeah, ended up being what was supposed to be a 3-game series, ended up being a 2-game series. Both played yesterday. I guess the first one started Monday, got through 3 innings, and then resumed yesterday. And honestly, despite splitting the series, I actually felt really good about yesterday just because the way they fought back in game 1, down 5-2 heading into the 9th, it was a weird thing where Joe Ryan basically was the de facto starter for game 1, but the game picked up in the 4th inning. So in what was a save situation, Joe Ryan came out to pitch the top of the 9th and two guys come on, and all of a sudden the Twins bullpen starts to heat up. Johan Duran comes in, and Bo Naylor, a 2-out bases clearing double to tie the game, 5-5. And then the part that sucked was Cade Smith coming in and just getting barreled up.
I mean, you guys, first of all, he only threw fastballs. Don't know what's wrong with him.
Well, so the weather was shitty yesterday in Minnesota.
Oh,
and
ball was flipping. He felt
he's a fastball splitter guy, so I don't fault him if you can't get a good grip on the splitter in those conditions. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
But the more concerning thing, and again, the broadcasters were making note of it with Joe Ryan throughout the game too. So I don't know if it was just because of like the weather or whatever, but his velo was down. Cade Smith was sitting 94 yesterday.
Yeah, no, that to me that's a weather thing.
Yeah. So again, shitty weather meant lower velo on the fastball, and he couldn't throw a splitter. So I'm not going to freak out. There are people, again, I stay off Twitter after losses for a reason because people crash out every loss. It's like we play 162 games for a reason. Don't tell me Emmanuel Clase is washed after 5 games in April. Don't tell me Cade Smith is washed after a rough patch in May. Like, relax. These guys played out of their mind last year. Of course, there was going to be some level back down to earth. And the same people that wanted Clase banished from the bullpen, he has a .93 ERA in his last 10 games. It's like
he's been really good lately. He's been really good.
And you know what? It's just like he's starting the biggest thing with Clase, and we saw it yesterday, game 2. He comes in a 4-run game, so he didn't get the save, but he's taken velo off of his slider, which I like because it's getting a little more movement now. It's sitting at like 88, which before it was sitting at like 92. I love the new look slider, and he's working inside to righties again. And that was the biggest thing that me and you have been talking about all season long. Was like, you just got to work in. It's that simple. And sure enough, a sub-1 ERA, and I think his last 10 appearances now.
A sub-wiener.
Sub-wiener. But no, and then game 2, we saw kind of just a weird offensive day. I mean, what's his face? Chris Paddock was kind of in the zone for a little bit. And then we got to him in the 6th inning where he couldn't find the zone. Gabriel Arias draws a bases loaded walk to tie the game. Nolan Jones with an RBI sac fly to give us the lead, and then tacked on some runs later against their bullpen. Carlos Santana is heating up. He had 2 home runs yesterday, 1 in each game.
Bro, when he hits home runs, they're just so pure, dude. The swing is so pure.
It's such a like slugger swing.
Yeah.
Like, you just know right off the bat that it's gone.
That one's a no doubter.
Yeah. And so, you know what? I'll take the split, but now we have to win this series. And I guess I'll take a split because it's a 4-game set against Detroit. But like in actuality, if we want to be serious about this division, we got to win this series. We got to take at least 3 out of 4.
To me, this is a measuring stick. Do want to throw this up here. This is for my guy Andrew, who I'm currently in his fantasy league. I'm 6-2. I'm up a little bit right now.
Oh hell yeah! There we go.
Going up against the dude that's 8-0. So we're hanging tight. I just proposed a trade for Juan Soto today, Pat.
All right. What's the offer?
I proposed Cedric Mullins and Jung Ho Lee for Juan Soto.
Brother, didn't you offer that same trade like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. I think I did it for Kyle Tucker when we were at the game.
All right, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I was like, I remember hearing both those names.
Yep. I'm just gonna keep offering them. So Andrew, thank you for this. Thank God Lane Thomas is back. Nolan Jones and Angel Martinez can't play center field, which is why the Guards lost game 1. They gave the Twins too many runs on balls that should have been caught. Did you have an issue with the Angel Martinez, the positioning? He
was playing in for some reason, and I don't know why. And I also think
isn't that always on the card, though? It's like situationally, I doubt that it's an Angel Martinez call. If there's a man on second, he's supposed to be playing in, so they probably have him shifted in based on an up the middle grounder. What's his arm strength, right?
I guess, but like also, I don't know. 2 outs, runners are going on contact. Like more likely than not, like a base hit is winning you that game. If there's a base hit to center, 95% of the time you're losing. Like that's just the nature of it. I thought he took a shitty route to the ball.
That was my bigger issue. Shitty route.
Yes, it was a shitty route to the ball. And shit, we were talking about it before the game, but fuck yeah, Lane Thomas is back hitting. Oh no, it's flat. I keep thinking Scooble's pitching tonight, but it's Flaherty tonight. Scooble Sunday. So, yeah, dude, I think this is Lane Thomas was one of my biggest X factors for this lineup in terms of the overall outlook of the season for this team to be competitive. I thought Lane Thomas was going to have to carry over like the success he showed in the postseason. It was really 2 guys. It was Rocchio and Lane Thomas. And so far this year, we're 0 for 2.
Right.
Rocchio's been banished to AAA. I don't know if we'll see him again, especially the way Arias has been playing. And Lane Thomas got off to such a shitty start, then goes on the IL, was starting to hit a little bit in Columbus. So I like making the move and sending Brennan back to the IL. Will Brennan is terrible at baseball. I'm so over it. I really don't want to see him put on the major league uniform again. He's your quad A outfielder, like to the T.
You're the only baseball fan I know that uses the quad A term. I think someone just broke something out there, Pat. Give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. I'll ramble on here for a bit. But yes, Andrew, thank God Lane Thomas is back. I did like the Nolan Jones experiment in center field only because like his underlying metrics at the plate, and he's starting to heat up. He had a multi-hit game over the weekend. I thought he put together good ABs yesterday, had the sac fly, had another base hit in that game. That might have been game 1. He had the base hit. But either way, we need to see Nolan Jones in the lineup regularly because his metrics, if you look at his Baseball Savant page, he's got elite bat speed, top 10 in the league in average exit velo. Like he's going to get hot. He's been so incredibly unlucky so far to start this year. His XBA isn't great, but it's still significantly higher than what his actual batting average is right now, which I think is, 189 on the season. And his XBA is sitting at like 220. So, I mean, not a crazy jump.
You talking about Nolan Jones?
Yeah. I'm just saying how like, I agree. Getting Lane back for center field was good, but like we need Nolan Jones in the lineup every day. His X batting average is 241. So it's not even terrible. But the fact that his average is sitting at 189, his X slugging being his X slug is 456 compared to his 297 actual slug. He's been so incredibly unlucky so far this year, and we're starting to see it come together a little bit. I think he needs to be the everyday right fielder for the time being. John Kenzie Noel is lost, and I think it's only a matter of time before he gets sent back down to Columbus.
Is he going to be the guy that gets sent down when you guys bring up Chase DeLauder?
Well, it's either going to be – so they're going to have 2 decisions to make. First of all, I think David Fry probably gets the call up before DeLauder. And I think naturally that makes sense to call up Fry.
Does it? No. Well, how long is DeLauder going to need in AAA? Because he was going to be on the opening day roster, right?
I mean, probably, most likely. I mean, things got weird, obviously, with the injury because when they brought in Nolan Jones, it's like – well, shit, him and Nolan Jones, like now becomes what do you do with those 2 players? For me, I don't necessarily want DeLauder to cut into Nolan Jones's playing time right now.
Okay.
And I might be fried for thinking that.
You're
but
fried.
I think Jones is so close to heating up, man. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. He's hitting the ball hard. He's starting to get rewarded. You're seeing the batting average starting to creep
But
up.
also, he's also just watching pitches go by.
He is, but he actually, it's funny because ever since we made note of that, it was about a week ago, me and Chris did a little deep dive into his Savant page because it's weird. It's like, how is the batting average 189? Meanwhile, he's got an elite chase rate, 70, I shouldn't say elite, but a good chase rate, 71st percentile, yet a brutal strikeout rate at 13% or 13th percentile, and he's 78th percentile on walk rate. It means he's just basically swinging at pitches down the middle.
Yeah, he's a meatball merchant. That's the meatball merchant Savant page because you know who we noticed the same thing with last year? Pete Alonso.
But again, I'll take Pete Alonso as my starting right fielder every day of the week.
That's
if Nolan Jones can give me that, I'm thrilled because everything else is elite. Exit velo, 98th percentile. Hard hit rate, 88th percentile.
Well, yeah, but Pat, those things are elite because he's only swinging at the down the middle pitches.
I'm just saying,
what would those things look like if he was also hitting other pitches?
I mean,
it's not if it's that high and if he could cover the entire plate and hit that hard of balls, yeah, for sure. I don't think he's Ben Rice though. Is my point.
No, I know, but like, I guess my bounce back will be his X slug is 456. You don't get to an X slug of that by just being a meatball merchant. Like he's doing damage on basically every time he swings. And I have to look at the numbers to see how many times it is literally right down the middle. But like I was watching him yesterday, he's starting to expand it a little bit. Cause I think that's probably in his head too, is that, all right, shit, I'm not seeing the results because I'm not getting thrown the ball right down the middle. You got to learn to do damage with other pitches. So I think optically he knows that. Him
and Jhonkensy Noel, if you could just fuse them together, you'd have the perfect player. If you could fuse them together, you've had Aaron Judge.
I don't know about that,
bro. Jhonkensy Noel swings at everything. But swings at nothing.
I don't know. Maybe
if you fuse them together, Aaron Judge. But
maybe that is it. My thing is, I think, maybe. I don't know, dude. I'm so over watching Jhonkensy Noel swing a baseball bat right now, so I'm jaded for that. I think David Fry gets a call up though, just because. So the thing is, they're gonna have to make two moves. It'll be Jhonkensy Noel going down, and then I'm not sure who else you send down for DeLauder. I guess actually, no, I do know. It'll be Will Wilson. He'll get sent down because he's not doing anything right now.
Well, that Clippers outfield is going to be crazy.
Dude, it is.
Right now it's already crazy. Like you've got Kafis and DeLauder in the same outfield.
Yeah.
And then Gonzalez is there too, right?
No, wait.
Who's your everyday center fielder in AAA?
Who the fuck is it? Why am I blanking?
Dot. Oh, Rodriguez, not Gonzalez. My bad.
Jonathan Rodriguez. Yeah.
Jonathan Rodriguez.
So it's gonna be going in a little bit.
It'll be today. It'll be going right because
DeLauder should start today.
Well, because right now you've got DeLauder, Will Brennan. No, Will Brennan's up. So you got DeLauder, Jonathan Rodriguez, and
CJ Kafis.
Yeah, and Kafis. Who would you rather? Who do you want to get the call up first, Kafis or DeLauder?
Oh, it's got to be DeLauder. Kafis just got called up to AAA for the first time, like a couple weeks ago.
He's hooping, though, dude.
He is hooping. Oh, again, I was fully on board with. We might have to. Send Carlos Santana packing if he doesn't heat up, but he is starting to heat up, and I think that's good. So, also, I don't know. It's DeLauder's going to get a call soon. I think you need to get DeLauder and Fry up pretty quickly, and I think that this lineup can start to figure itself out. And then but bottom line is this is a big weekend against Detroit on the road too.
Which games are? Because obviously you guys probably won't beat Scooble, but
bro, are you kidding me? I feel better about beating Scooble than I do about Flaherty at this point.
Stop.
No, I like our chances tonight. It's Bobby Flaherty. I think I mean, Bobby he's due to lock in. I think it's going to come today. And then tomorrow it's Slade Ciccone against Job, which is actually low-key a fire matchup because Ciccone looked really good in his first start of the year against Cincinnati.
And Job been looking the part, man.
And Job's been looking nice too. So that's a low-key matchup tomorrow. Saturday, the pitching
Mize
Ortiz, yep. And then Scooble versus Logan Allen.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough because Logan Allen might get bodied by this Detroit lineup. But
that's Scooble on pretty decent rest, isn't it?
No, he pitched last night. Or no, he pitched
2 nights ago, I thought.
2 nights ago. You're right.
That's great rest.
Yeah.
Not going until Sunday? Yeah.
I'm not worried. Lane Thomas is going to take him. Lane Thomas is going to take him yard.
And then
yeah, dude. So this is big. I think honestly, like winning 2 would be nice, and I'd be okay with that. But like really, if we're gonna have division championship hopes, like they got to win this series. So I'm excited to see what happens. Hopefully, yesterday was kind of a spark. The offense got going late, and hopefully they can keep it going because they're going to need it against this pitching staff.
Or a couple of around the league topics before we get on out of here. Juan Soto saw 7 straight pitches, no swinging, 2 strikeouts. First 2 innings, they're getting bumped down 1 in the lineup. Where are you at with Juan Soto? Is he falling apart at the seams, or is this still on track for the whole Frankie Lindor thing?
Dude, I'm sticking with that. This is just him getting acclimated to being the superstar and having the spotlight on him. And I don't know. It's going to take a year though. I don't think we see prime Soto until next year at this point.
But what if there is no prime Soto?
You think he's cooked? Like,
I don't think he's cooked. But did you think before he got to New York last year that he was worth $765 million? Or do you think he was closer to that $500 million?
I mean, we're splitting hairs here.
I don't think we are splitting hairs.
All right, so it's like, I mean, he's better than Vlad Guerrero.
Is he better than Kyle Tucker?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
I think they're very close players, and I don't think Kyle Tucker will get anywhere near $700 million. I think, what if? And bear with me, Pat. What if?
Mm-hmm.
What if the player that is most likely him is the Padres in the final year in Washington, Juan Soto? And hear me out. What have we seen this year in New York from everybody that hits around Aaron Judge?
Everyone's performing well.
Everyone's putting up unbelievably, like everyone is on a career pace that hits around Aaron Judge. Trent Grisham, who you and I are not high on. I like how cool he is. They placed Trent Grisham in front of Aaron Judge, and all of a sudden he's hitting 270. I love Ben Rice. Ben Rice, when he was hitting in front of Aaron Judge, he was hitting, I think, 290. Then they moved him behind. He's hitting like 240.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look, Volpe, when he hits in front of Aaron Judge, he's up around 300. He's a 240 hitter. Gleyber Torres, when he was hitting in front of Aaron Judge, he was up around 310. Everybody that hits in front of Aaron Judge, if you are a fastball hitter, you elevate. Last year we got Juan Soto hitting 288 and 40 bombs. I think it's likely that the Juan Soto for the rest of the career is likely a 265 hitter, 30 bombs. And maybe that's worth all that money. But I think people saw that version of Juan Soto and saw the flair, and myself included, and thought, yeah, this is going to be the game's best hitter at some point. And I don't know if he ever will be.
He absolutely will. In one year in his career, he's hit under 275. And that was
the San Diego year.
That was 2022. That was the year he got traded to San Diego.
Okay.
He hit 242. Guess what his on-base percentage was that year?
It was probably like something crazy, like 410.
It was 401, the worst of his career, tied for the worst with his 2019, his age 20 season.
And here we go.
We're in his age 26 season right now. He's currently posting the worst on-base percentage of his career, and it's still 374. We're seeing the worst OPS of his career. This is only the second time he's under 900 with an OPS of 804 right now.
How much?
The only
are
other year
worth?
being the 2022 year.
How much are walks? What does Juan Soto have to be worth that $765 million?
You have a 900 OPS every year of your career. Yeah.
No, I'm saying so moving forward. So from today for the next 15 years, if he is at that mark, 900 OPS.
So call it. I mean, 15 years is a lot, but I'll say for the next, you figure the peak of that contract is the next 8 years. He's age 26 season. So call it 9 years through his age 35 season. I think if his OPS is over 900 in that time frame, he's absolutely warranted.
I think Juan Soto is going to have to deliver 4 magical seasons. And when I say 4 magical seasons over 15 years, I think he's going to have to finish in MVP voting in the NL in the top 3 4 years.
Okay.
And I don't know if the shell of himself I'm seeing right now, this one's not going to make it. So it's like, all right, we're going to punt to next year. We're going to punt to next year. We're going to punt to next year. He's got to be the best player on that team. Pat, will he ever be the best player on the Mets?
Probably.
When?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's next year.
Next year.
I mean, we literally said the same thing about Lindor. Lindor went from top 10 in MVP finishes 3 in 2016, 17, 18, All-Star in 2019, 2020, the COVID year, whatever. Then his first year with the Mets, he posted 734 OPS, the worst of his career. Each of his last 3 years, he's been top 10 in MVP voting, Lindor.
I know. It hasn't made an All-Star team either, which is wild.
Which is crazy. But also, you look at Lindor's OPS. Lindor's never had a 900 OPS season. Juan Soto's only had one season in which he didn't have a 900 OPS.
So, here we go. Why does it feel so much worse than with Juan Soto right now?
Because it's all the extracurricular bullshit that's going on.
I don't know where you're
all
at.
Media driven.
All media driven. So the media
Absolutely.
made him not. So media made him watch 7 straight pitches without moving. The media made him not hustle out of the box.
That's all right. We're looking at 3 instances over what's been
here's what I'll say.
Month and a half long, almost 2 months span right now.
You know why it felt so different with Frankie Lindor?
Bro, Lindor did the same shit.
No. Frankie was always hustled and always created defense.
All right, that's fair, but that's always all right. You're right, but
that's
also, Lindor was a good defender before he came to New York. Soto was a bad defender,
right? No, so I'm saying. So I think that, like, here we go. What needed to happen for Lindor to get the enormous pressure off of his shoulders? He started doing the little things right. And it became like he got traded here. He was having a tough time, but at least I can tell he's trying.
Yeah.
And at least he's not lying to the media. Juan Soto has to, if the pressure and the narratives bug Juan Soto, because it looks like they do, right?
Yeah.
If the pressure and the narrative bugs Juan Soto has to get better at not giving them ammunition. What has Juan Soto done for the last week and a half?
He's given ammunition, but also he's
not giving ammunition. He said, here's the armory in the back. Here's the keys. I'm going to go stand 20 yards away, light me up, and make sure you use the explosive rounds first.
But is he wrong, though?
Yes.
We've seen 2 instances in which he didn't, quote unquote, hustle. One of them was optically the one at Yankee Stadium was bad. That's one that you run out, especially given everything that went on with all the drama in the offseason. The one in Boston, I don't fault him for that. You even said when we were talking about it, Alonso got thrown out trying to run to second.
Yes, you're right. Earlier in the game, I don't fault him for the not running. My belief on the ammunition is, guess what the Mets told us? The Mets told us how they felt about Juan Soto not hustling, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did the manager say? Yes, we had to talk to Juan Soto about hustling.
Yeah.
And guess what? Juan Soto got asked right afterwards. Juan Soto said, cut it on. I hustle.
Yeah.
That is the misstep. That's not the misstep, Pat.
I have no problem with that.
You have no problem with
Brother,
him.
he stole second the next pitch.
He did steal second. You have no problem with him lying. Look, here's the thing.
But
If you
he's
want to
not
lie,
lying. How did he lie?
Media, lie.
How did he lie, though? He actually didn't lie. I don't think there's a
he
lack
said
of hustle. There's been 2 instances,
wait.
and the one he made up for it by stealing second.
But he didn't say there's been 2 instances. He says, no, you could look, I hustle. I always hustle out of the box. You say I always hustle out of the box, you're lying to a fan base, and your manager, who is 30 feet away from you, just said, so here we go. Who's the liar? Who's the liar out of the 2?
I mean, all right.
Who's the liar?
If we're taking always literally, then yes, Soto is the liar. I think he meant it as like, yeah,
No, you could throw always out of it. Somebody's lying. If the manager says, and managers are super gentle with star players, especially superstar players. The manager says, we need to talk to Juan Soto, yes, about hustling out of the box. And then you go over and Juan Soto says, no, I don't need to be talked about hustling out of the box. I hustled out of the box. Somebody there is lying. Because if it's just 2 plays, then why would the manager ever open his mouth when he knows the New York media has their teeth out and they're looking for blood? So who messed it up? Juan Soto or the manager?
To me, that's on the manager.
Oh,
your team, you're in first place. You're in first place. Why are you bringing this bullshit to the media? Why are you giving what? That's the ammunition. That's the ammunition that's been given.
No, he didn't bring it to the media. The media said, are you going to have a talk with Juan Soto about hustling? And he said, yeah. We all see he's not running.
Where's the coach speak? I'm saying that does, like, there's no reason to be having these conversations when your team is literally in first place and like Soto's having the worst start of his career and he still is a plus 800 OPS right now. Like, it's all going to be fine.
My thing is, he's not helping himself out. This feels like, at least so far, it hasn't been a fit. And either A, Juan Soto has to get back to having fun. Because the one thing about Juan Soto was what? Every at-bat was theater. He got in pitchers' heads.
They said the same stuff about Lindor, Mr. Smile. They're like, he needs to go back to having fun. This is literally the same exact thing. It's going to take time.
Lindor got traded there.
It doesn't matter. The pressure is there. It's the same pressure. The massive contract is what brings that pressure. I don't think it has anything to do with traded or free agency. It's the massive contract that you signed that you now have to live up to. The pressure is solely on these guys for the first time in both of their careers. We are seeing the same thing. The same thing happened to Lindor. Lindor talked about how, it was easier to play in Cleveland than it is in New York. Like
I guess the other part of it is, bro's been in New York. I love talking about Soto, by the way. I love it. I love talking about Soto because I admit I love it. I was so hurt when he left. And you know what the worst thing about when he left, what he said that hurt me the most, which is why I'm going to keep giving it to him no matter what. I'm going to keep pointing out his faults. He said it's been a Met town for a while now. Okay. And if you say it's been a Met town for a while now, you better go out there and look like you're happy to be a Met. And he is not that. He's not done that. And look, you ever seen the meme of the 2 gang signs holding up they got the bandana tied in the middle? Juan is just soft. I hate that I'm agreeing with Chris. This is the worst person he knows. Just made a great point, and he doesn't know how to feel. Juan Soto, you want to call this a Met town? You want to tell us how happy you are to be a Met? Look happy to be a Met. That's like if you had a girlfriend, Pat, she was the most beautiful girlfriend in the world, and you love her so much, and yet every time I take a picture of you two and post it on Instagram, you're frowning. He hates his wife.
I'm just saying, we've seen
if it is before. A Met town and you play for the Mets and you're the richest player in the sport, at least be happy to be there. And also, that's fine. If the pressure is too much for him, I'm glad that there's clear-cut tiers in this sport because people thought you were up there with Aaron Judge. You're not. People thought you were up there with Shohei Ohtani. You're not. People thought you were up there with Mike Trout. You're not. To me, all you are is Robinson Cano is the right fielder.
Soto is going to be just fine.
He's not going to be a top 10 player in the sport for
he absolutely
at least a year.
Will be.
Not this year.
I'm not even mailing in this year yet. It might take a year, but he will absolutely.
Pat, you move your best player down one in the lineup. He goes up there and doesn't swing at a single pitch.
It's petty bullshit. I said it's just petty bullshit.
He's being petty with the manager. Like you're telling me that this is all like, did the media go up there and kidnap his mom and say, I'm not going to let go of your mom unless you watch 7 pitches go by and don't swing at one? You're saying the media's starting this. Did the media make him go up there and not swing at a single pitch?
No.
Why did he? Pat, you love Juan Soto. I love Juan Soto. We love watching Juan Soto. When did we ever see Juan Soto go up there and not swing at a pitch?
Never. So
what was that? Did we ever see Lindor ever at any point go up there and look like he wasn't trying? Or did we ever see Lindor in a moment where you got to win games? I mean, you keep saying they're in first place. They're not in first place.
No, they were. I said they were in first place.
Yeah, I'm saying Juan Soto went up there. Yeah. It's time to win a game. It's time to bounce back. I said on the show, you're going to go nuclear. You're going to do a great job against Boston. So sorry, Boston, for what's coming. You go up there, and we used to love Juan Soto versus other aces, right? Because what would he do against other aces, no matter where he was? It was always theater. You go up there and you 2 Ks, both backwards. I mean, if he would have struck out one more time backwards, he would have been racist. It would have been KKK. Are you kidding me?
I'm of the belief that one little outburst doesn't reflect the type of player that he is. If we had seen this before in the past, then I'd be worried. But like, I know this isn't who he is. This is an adjustment period. He's going, listen, he is probably in one of the worst slumps of his career right now. And he still has an OPS over 800. He still has a higher WAR than Francisco Lindor right now. And we're talking about this.
Yeah, because
it still has a higher WAR than than the team's best player or supposed best player. Juan Soto is going to be fine. He's going to finish the year with an OPS probably over 850, if not higher. He's going to finish the year with 30 bombs. He's going to finish the year with an on-base percentage over 400.
I think he can turn this around, but if he looks bad on Sunday Night Baseball, people are going to have a lot to say.
Absolutely. But it's typical, like, and the New York media goes crazy with it. Like,
New York media didn't confiscate his bat.
I'm just saying.
Did the New York media confiscate his bat? And who in the New York media is going hard on him?
The New York Post.
One article. He deserved it. I'm just saying. Here we go.
You think so? Because you're a Soto hater right now.
I'm not a Soto hater.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm more of a Met hater because look at what you did to one of the game's best. The game needed him to be a megastar, and he's not that anymore.
He's fine. He will be just fine.
He's getting paid $750 million.
The same shit was said about Lindor, and he has finished top 10 in the MVP the last 3 years.
Is double Lindor's contract.
I know, but
it's double optically bad. I'm just saying,
inflation adjusted. People said the same thing about Lindor.
Did Ohtani ever go up there and not swing the bat? And here we go. Here's my last thing on Juan Soto. Then I'm going to get out of here. Juan Soto is the first megastar across multiple sports to sign and be the richest in the sport without being the best at one individual thing that the sport values. And I've worked with this in my head a long time. And I think that's why it's going to be tougher for him to get a pass. In basketball, when Steph Curry got the big deal, Steph Curry's going to hit a bunch of threes, right? Like LeBron, he's 6'9", he's a point guard, he does everything, he's perfect. With Aaron Judge, signs a huge deal. He's got so much power that, like, even when he goes on slumps, you know that he's always like one swing away. Like Ohtani, same deal, like second best power hitter in the sport. Juan Soto is a guy that's good at a bunch of things individually. And the thing that he's the very best at is creating theater in those moments. When that goes away, you lose a big part of what I think Juan Soto is. And that's the issue. So that's what makes this slump feel a little bit weirder because it's like, well, like you said, his on-base percentage is fine. Like you said, OPS is fine.
I'll tell you this. Who is a better hitter in terms of on-base percentage than Juan Soto?
Well, considering he was second to Aaron Judge in on-base percentage last year, I'd probably say Aaron. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he got paid the money without being the very best at an individual thing. And if I give that to you, like taking walks, okay, that's fine. Is taking walks, does that warrant being the highest paid in the sport?
I don't know. I mean,
that's my thing. And it's more of like a bigger sports philosophy thing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times guys get paid for the really exceptional trait, which is what creates the gap in things.
So Aaron Judge's career on base percentage is .410. Soto's is .418. I mean, to me, that matters something.
Yeah, well, you're
I think Soto's the active leader in on base percentage right now. .418.
Okay. Is
the best in the sport at getting on base.
Best now here we go. Is that a game breaking generational trait to have? Because everybody else, what I just mentioned, from Steph to LeBron to Ohtani, those are all like game breaking things to have. Because like, it's like, okay, like, look, like
in what is it? In what is a team sport like baseball? Absolutely. If you can get on base better than anyone else in the sport, how?
That's like that. Here we go. Would we pay someone who could steal the most bases more than anybody in the sport? No. That's like paying the guy that has the highest free throw percentage in the NBA.
I disagree.
Pat, do we pay guys for stealing bases?
No, but you have to get on base to steal bases. That's a secondary trait.
I know you can't have the chicken without the egg. I'm just saying it's like how valuable is like being the very best at being on base is cool and all. I don't think it warrants being the highest paid in the sport.
All right. I mean, that's fair. But when you're also a 34 homer, like 35 homer a year guy, yeah, I think
that definitely matters. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, like, look, like when Juan Soto is slumping elsewhere, you can lean back. It doesn't feel as good. It's like, oh, slumping elsewhere, other parts of his game is his secondary parts of his game. But look, the best part of his game is working. He's getting on base. Like, that makes the slumps feel worse. Like for Aaron Judge,
if he's slumping, he's slumping right now, and his OPS is over 800.
No, I'm saying how they feel. It's like, look,
I disagree. Like, I don't think that to me does not feel like when Juan Soto slumps versus when Jose Ramirez is in a slump, it's tough to watch.
So why does it feel so awful then right now?
I don't think it does feel awful. I think people are overreacting.
Does it feel awful?
No, it doesn't. Feel awful? It does not feel awful to me.
Oh my gosh, bro.
It does not feel awful to me. This is where I think it's media driven. That's why the slump feels so bad. It's media driven. He's not in that bad of a slump. His slump does not feel that awful to me. Optically, when you watch him play, that's what looks bad. But if you actually look at the numbers, it's not that bad of a slump.
Then I think we agree. I'm saying it feels bad because his small wins are just congrats, take your base, go to first.
Brother, that's that. See, I don't know. Maybe, and this is where the two teams that we watch are dictating how we feel about this. Your team mashes home runs. So when Soto is not, and when he's struggling, like when I guess what I'm trying to say is that
I'm saying Mets fans aren't happy with him just walking. Because it's like if you think paying somebody to walk is cool, I pay him to mash. Get me out of here. I'm glad we had a spirited debate.
Yeah, and and again, if at his worst right now, he still is at an 800 OPS, I'm cool with that because he's going to heat up.
Doesn't it bug you though that opposing pitchers would love to see him instead of Pete Alonso with the game on the line?
I mean, right now Pete's mashing.
No, not really.
He was, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you've seen it. He's been terrible recently.
Yeah, no. I think. It might be a year because we saw it. It took a year for Lindor, and he got back to where he was.
Injected into my veins. You know who's having a better year than Juan Soto right now? Cody Bellinger.
That's true.
Cody Bellinger, Devers is better. Hunter Goodman is better. Yeah, wait, who the fuck is Hunter Goodman? Steven Kwan is better. Let's go, dude. End the show, bro. I have like kids here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. This is a good one. Good, healthy debate. We'll be back probably Monday with a recap of our series. If we're going to preview it, the Yankees will win by a combined 40 runs this weekend and hit 15 home runs.
It's a real good feel-good series.
Yeah. And then I'm either going to be ready to kill myself on Monday after the division race is buried by the Tigers, or I'm going to be feeling good. And I think the Tribe's going to take 3 out of 4, and we're probably going to score 15 runs in the series, but we're going to win 3 out of 4. We're going to see a lot of pitchers duels and low scoring games.
Who should I root for, the Dodgers or the Mets when they start this series?
Brother, you already know who you're rooting for.
Actually,
you're rooting for the Dodgers.
Honestly, as wild as that is to say, I think I'm rooting for the Mets, but I'm rooting for Juan Soto to be bad. I'm rooting for like.
I literally just said 10 minutes ago, you just hate Juan Soto, and you said, no, I hate the Mets.
No, I hate what the Mets have done to him, is what I said.
Yeah, so in ipso facto, you hate the Mets.
No, just the Mets. Let's hate what they've done.
If you don't hate Juan Soto, but you're rooting against him against your main op.
Well, it's like, well, what was it do? Root for Ohtani?
No, root for Mookie Betts.
Actually, I don't. It's funny. I don't hate Mookie Betts. I do hate Mookie Betts, but not in the way that I hate Shohei Ohtani.
Nah, he's a meme, dude. I fuck with Mookie, but he's also, I don't know. He's the Karl Anthony Towns of baseball.
No, he's the Jalen Brunson.
No, dude, he's a zesty motherfucker. He's Cat, but baseball version.
I was always a Benintendi fan. Benintendi is better than Ben and the show.
All right, that's Chris. I'm Pat. We'll be back talking baseball Monday. Strike 3. We're out.